Wait for the stragglers. Good morning, everybody. It says this hangout is on the air. Len Mooney here with Lunch with Len on March 10th, 2016. And as you all know, we have a really special guest today. But first, let me just welcome everybody who's here. I see Chris, Bill, Lisa, and as we know, there's a few stragglers out there that'll be piling on at the last minute. So as we get them on, we'll welcome them. Hey, I don't think anybody in this group, I don't think I have to give Mark a long introduction. I mean, we all know Mark he's the guy. He's the king of video and the king of YouTube. And, you know, I don't know if how many of you may have been on his training last night. Christy, good morning, Christy. Hello, Bob. It was an awesome training, but we're not going to talk about that. I put a note up in the chat. I put it up twice. Anyone who has any questions for Mark, get them ready, because I will open for questions here, in 15 minutes or so from now. So that being said, welcome, Mark.
Yeah, thanks for having me out, Len. Appreciate it. It was nice that you asked me, and glad we were able to work it out.
Yeah. No, I can't tell you how excited I am. I think you've never been on Lunch with Len before, so that's really makes this a very, very special Lunch with Len for me.
Yeah, and I've never been on here, so absolutely.
Cool. Well, we've been doing this for quite a while now, well over a year. So I'm not sure why I haven't had you before, but we'll have to do it again. So hey, Mark, let's just start at the beginning. I've personally always been really curious to know a little bit more about how you ended up in Chile. It was Chile, right?
Yeah. I was living in Chile for 4 years. So of course I'm back in the States now. I live in Tampa, but yeah. So for me,
Chile, yeah.
Well, I was in a network marketing company from 2006 through up to 2009. And I was, really struggling like most people. And I was really actually going through a very difficult time financially. Things were really, tough. My wife and I were, making, spending more than we were making, obviously. And we were just completely upside down. And that's when about, 2008 is when, the market really crashed. The housing market, I was living in California. My house, the value on my house, we bought our house for $380,000, and in a matter of months, it was down to what's up, Christy Kelly? She's cool. And my house tanked. It went from $380,000 down to $140,000 in a matter of a few months. So that was a big blow, and financially, we were just really struggling. And we had kind of made the decision that we were going to sell our house, short sale it to get out from underneath it. And, we just, we did that. And then what happened was we had made the decision to move to Chile during that time. And then I hadn't even told my boss, but come around September of 2009, I ended up getting fired from my job because the economy was going bad. Out of 20 sales guys, there were maybe 4 of them that were, hitting their numbers. It was just, it was bad. So they let me go. And from that point forward, it was like, we're ready to go. And we moved down to Chile. My wife's from Chile. My wife's Chilean. So her whole family's down there. So it wasn't like we were just going down there to, for the sake of it. We went down there, her family's down there. And, we just, went down there to live, and it was great experience. And, it was down there that my business really started taking off. That was all I focused on. I worked a job down there for about 2 months at an English school. And that obviously wasn't something I wanted to continue doing. So eventually I, really got to work and made it happen. So, and ever since it's been good.
So you mentioned getting fired from a job. You mentioned sales. Were you in a sales position with a real job?
Oh yeah. I was a corporate sales guy. I worked for a energy management company in Southern California, and so I worked with existing accounts in the service department, and I was selling service contracts, service repair jobs. My average jobs were, at first, when I first started, it was definitely a lot easier to hit numbers. But after, as the economy got worse and worse, it got harder and harder to sell. When I first got going, you put out maybe 4 proposals and you'd get 1 sale. By the time I left, you'd had to put out 14 or 15 to get 1 sale. So you had to do like 4 times the work to get the same result. And it just it got kind of ridiculous. So.
Yeah. You mentioned 2008. That was just a really tough year.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk. I'm not going to talk about my story, but I'll tell you, that was the year that I did own a flight school, and I had 30. I think it was 30 flight instructors, and a year later I had 2 flight instructors. I laid off 5 people.
Yeah,
we tanked completely. Yeah, that was a terrible time. So what got so was it needed some extra money, got you into network marketing?
No, I've been in network marketing since 2000. And I always got into it because I had seen kind of the idea of having my freedom was a big deal to me. And it was just something, once I got an idea in my head, I'm very stubborn like that. And, I pass it on to my daughter because she's the same way. Sometimes it's like, got to break it, but, I literally, had this idea in my head that I didn't want to work a job. I was tired of doing that. I wanted to, live life on my terms, go on vacation when I wanted to. I hated asking for vacation time. I hated to have to get permission to do anything. I just felt like I was, had to kiss butt to do the things I wanted. And to me, that was not what I wanted. I don't want to ask somebody if I can go on a vacation and enjoy myself. If I want to take the day off, I want to take the day off. And so for me, I was just at that point where I'd had enough, and that really was kind of the thing that drove me to figure this thing out.
Well, you've clearly made it work for you, but you were in a different, you must have been in a different network marketing company when you went to Chile.
Actually, I stayed in that company for probably another 10 months or so. Just working it from there. And then afterward, I was kind of like, well, it's probably not going to work being here and maintaining. So I just I tried to, did a couple other online marketing companies and just to see what would work. But eventually I just kind of got around to start making my own products and my own, things like that. So, for me, it wasn't a too difficult of a shift,
Oh, okay. So you don't have you don't have what MLSP normally refers to as the primary business.
I do have a business that I'm in. I don't heavily promote it. I'm more of an online marketer / affiliate marketer, kind of hybrid. I don't know what I really consider myself. I just know that I love training. I love creating products. I love coaching. And that's kind of my main thing is my coaching business. That's what I focus on. I've got a lot of coaching clients. I've got a mastermind that I have, and I'm working on just continuing to expand that out because that's something I really enjoy, And so I do have a primary. I don't really promote it heavily though. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So how'd you meet your wife if she's from Chile? You must have met her in the States then.
Actually, I went to a website called ChileanWives.com, and I actually ordered her. So I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. No, I'm just joking. I actually met her in San Diego when I lived there. I didn't get her on a website, just, keeping that clear. I actually met her in San Diego, and when I moved out to California in 2002, that's when I met her. So I lived in California for, we moved in 2009. I met her in 2002. We got married in 2003, and that was it. So
you were in San Diego in 2003?
Yes. Yeah, I moved there in 2002. My wife was there she wasn't a U.S. citizen. She was there on a work visa or a tourist visa, excuse me. And she was working to try and get on a work visa so she could stay. and they denied the work visa. So she ended up having to go back to Chile. We had gotten engaged before she went back. So she went back, and then she went back for 8 months, and I started working on, bringing her back over from a legal standpoint. So I ended up getting a visa for her, and she came back 8 months later. I went down to Chile to visit her and her family and, all that. And when she came back, we got married within, 30 days, I think, of her getting back. We went down to the courthouse and got it done, and then we planned a big wedding. So,
so I see Jamie. I don't know. I don't know if he's pulling our legs or not. He says he found Christy on sweethearts.com.
Yeah, there you go.
pulling our leg, Jackson, or should we take you seriously?
Yeah, man.
So making the decision to go move to Chile for a while wasn't a hard decision because of her being from there. That made it really easy.
No, and I was like, I was so, just going through all the financial stress. I was like, I got to get the hell out of here, man. I need to just get away for the longest time. And so for me, it was also kind of totally get out of the environment I was in so I could make a positive change.
Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't a hard decision at all.
So where'd you live in San Diego? Just curious.
We actually we bought a house. We were living in Temecula, California, which is north of San Diego, about 50 miles, maybe 60 miles. So
what I didn't realize until we were talking right now is that you and I were neighbors. I mean, I moved to San Diego in 2003. That's when I got here.
Is that where you're at right now? Yeah.
Well, not quite. Right now, I am 50 miles south of San Diego. Are you familiar with this part of Baja?
Kind of. Where are you, like San Isidro? Kind of.
Just cross the area, cross the border at I-5 and keep going. You know where Puerto Nuevo is?
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I am sitting in my kitchen right now. I can see Puerto Nuevo right out my window.
Yeah.
Cool. That's where I'm 1 kilometer north of Puerto Nuevo.
Great. Awesome.
And when I owned the flight school, we bought this as a vacation home, but then now I'm down here living, and it's a great place. I'm right on the beach.
Awesome.
So yeah. So I guess that your what's your wife's name?
Wani. Yep.
So has she been supportive of you in network marketing?
Yeah, I mean, when I wasn't really making any money, of course she supported me, but was always kind of like, okay, when are you going to make some money? I know you keep saying it's going to happen. And, she was supportive even for the longest time when I wasn't making any money. And, but, I always tell people if you really want to get the support of your spouse, then just go make some money. Yeah. And if you make some money, then that's going to turn them around pretty quick. So, once the checks started coming in, she was super supportive then, and she's been supportive. She's always been supportive. She's always been there to support me, but, it really became very evident once I started, really making some money and making it work. That's when she, was all in, she finally jumped in, So
what do you mean she jumped in?
Well, she was just finally, 100% on board. She had supported me, but always with a little bit of doubt, but, after a while it just became very evident that, hey, this works. So
you just have the one child?
Yep.
Daughter. How old's your daughter?
She's 10.
Wow.
Yep. So
that's a pretty sweet age, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Okay.
So, cool, man.
Let's see. Well, let's just turn a little bit over to some of the business ideas.
Sure.
You talked last night a little bit about Twitter, and we've got several people on the webinar that have been following Adam Chandler's Twitter training. So I'm one of them. We're really growing we're really growing Twitter. And yeah, that was a great webinar last night, Larry just said. So I didn't quite follow what you were recommending with Twitter.
Well, one of the things that that you can do when you get a new follower on there is you can send them a direct message, and you can have a link to a capture page in that direct message. I just kind of changed it up. Rather than sending them right to a capture page, I just decided to send them over to my Facebook page or something else, which would help. My goal always is, I don't like to be too pitchy up front, so I don't even like putting a capture page or something in there that would cause their resistance to go up. It's not to say it doesn't work. Obviously it does. The way I kind of do things is I like to get a little bit in there of maybe something else. Like, Facebook is a very safe place for people. People are very familiar with Facebook. So if I send them over to Facebook, then, that's comfortable to them. So a lot of people come over to my fan page, and I'm getting, between about 20 and 30 likes a day just from that, and it's just all automated from Twitter. What I started doing also is, so once I get a new follower, it sends them a direct message, but it also tweets out, hey, so-and-so just followed me. And I put a YouTube link in there with going to a video of me just introducing myself. And as I introduce myself, at the end of the video, I have a little call to action that, hey, if you want to learn how to get some more leads using video, look in the description and click it, and I just instituted that yesterday. So we'll see how that works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing the thing that you were mentioning a moment ago, and that is I have an automated message go out, but it sends them to a capture page for a giveaway.
Yeah.
Not for the products or anything, just to a free giveaway.
Right.
And that actually seems to be working. I got 2 leads this morning from that.
Yeah, that's good. And if it's working, keep doing it. I'm See, this is the biggest thing with marketing, and I live by this. And I'll give you guys a little secret. Okay. This is kind of one of the secrets to my, me being able to be very effective, is I typically look at what are the masses doing. Like if all the masses are over here doing something, I say, okay, how can I maybe do that, but do something completely opposite, so I stand out? So I'm always, when everybody rushes to do one thing, I look to do the opposite. And that causes me to stand out more than, and so I think what Adam teaches is very effective, and you can use it in a myriad of different ways. You could send people to your blog, say, hey, you know what, here's maybe a My Story page. You could potentially send them to that. And so my goal is to just test different things. I like last night, I'd shared, on Friday, I did a free exposure Friday, and I did a little video, and I sent it to my list, and I boosted the post, and I would let people post their links in my video just to help people get some exposure. And that stuff like that creates goodwill with the people that you market with, or that you're connected with, because it shows give and take. The biggest problem many people have is it's, I need to make money. I need to make money. Yeah, that's great. We all want to make money, but you also got to give too. And it's got to be like a mutually beneficial thing. So for me to say, hey, you know what? I'd like to give you some exposure because I genuinely want to. I want to help people get some exposure as well. Not because it's a marketing ploy. It's actually, I really want to see what I can do to do these little things to help other people build as well. And that creates a lot of goodwill between my list, my audience in general. You see? So
yeah, I saw that post last week. In fact, I was one of the ones that participated in it. Yeah. So I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
Bob says he started doing videos after buying your course. You and Frank.
Yeah.
That would be Tube Traffic Mojo. Yep, I own that course for sure.
Yeah.
And Bob wants to know how much for your microphone. I guess he's serious about that. I don't know. But
this microphone, I got it on Amazon. It's only $99. So for the microphone.
It's a nice mic.
Yeah.
Now, don't you have a new course out now?
I'm doing a beta program on YouTube. I'm doing a beta on it. So I'm just working with a group of about, I don't know, it's about 40 people. But it's part of an overall larger course that I'll be launching here in about 2 months. And it's basically going to be, it's not just YouTube, but it's going to be pretty much everything that pertains to video. Every little bit of knowledge I know on video, I'm dumping into this course. So as of right now, it's probably going to be around 90 to 100 videos inside the course. It's very, very comprehensive. And it's a big project, and it's taken a lot longer than I anticipated to put this thing together, but it's very powerful. It's very, very good. I'm very excited about it, and it's essentially going to replace Tube Traffic Mojo. So in that sense, it's going to be, but it's going to be way, 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 way more beyond even Tube Traffic Mojo. So it's going much further. Let's put it that way.
Is there any, excuse me, is there anything in Tube Traffic Mojo right now that is basically obsolete?
I mean, some of the things in there, the overall principles that are in it are still very, very good. But there's, things change, things change. We did do some initial updates to it as things change, but, over time, you just have to redo the whole thing, and in order to redo the whole thing, it takes time to do. And there's obviously a lot of different things. There's definitely some new strategies that I'm working on that work way better than it did even, back then. But yeah, so it's going to be, what's coming. This project I'm working on now, what's coming. It's going to blow Tube Traffic Mojo out of the water. Let's put it that way. If you think Tube Traffic Mojo is good, just wait till you see this.
No, it was an awesome course.
Yeah.
And I still pull it up every now and then and look at some of the modules, but it probably is aging. Now Frank's not involved in this one. He's dropped out completely. Huh?
No, yeah, this is just my course. Yeah, Frank's, he's just moved on doing some other things, which is awesome, So
Chris says she's done with her tacos.
Awesome.
You're going to share with us, Chris? All right. Does anybody over there have any other questions they want to toss at Mark? We got a few more minutes with him, and if anyone has anything they want to chat about, I can bring anybody over that wants to come out too. Does somebody want to come out? When will we have Mark back on FNL? Friday night. J-Man wants to know when he's going to have you back.
Yeah, hit me up. We do have to set a date on that. We had a date before, and I know he had some surgery, so we had to reschedule. It's been hard to get a date on that, but yeah, hit me up. We gotta try and figure out a date on that for sure.
Well, he's recently been out playing in the backyard with buckets of concrete or something, and so
that's good. So Jackson must be doing much better.
No, he hurt himself seriously.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Well, he's got a bad knee injury. So if no one else has any questions, then I'm going to launch down a slightly different path just for a second here.
Yeah.
You also have a blog, and this is a question I've been dying to ask face to face for a long time. So on the back of my mind, I have a blog. I have a YouTube channel. In fact, like you, I have multiple YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And the way I do things 90% of the time is that I've actually written the blog, and then I do a video. And I put the video on YouTube, and then I put it in my blog post, and then I put the description over it. Now, problem is, do I have to spin that description to put it in YouTube or use it as a description there? If the description in YouTube and the blog post are virtually identical, is that cause a problem with the search engines with duplicate content?
No, I don't. I usually recommend you don't just put the text of your blog post in a video. Do something unique. The more unique it is, the better.
No, I don't. The video itself is unique. I haven't scripted a video in 3 years.
Yeah.
I turn on the camera and I start talking. But
Sure.
the description that goes in YouTube is
Yeah.
the thing that's unique.
Yeah, just make that unique. Yeah, as far as the video being the same as what's on your blog, no, that's not a big deal at all. You're fine there. Yeah, the whole duplicate content thing really is it's much different than with a blog. You know, the only thing you don't want to do in YouTube is upload the same video to YouTube multiple times.
Yeah.
You want to change up the actual video itself. That's the big thing there. So I'm not a big fan of using one template type of video. You really want to change it up. You know?
No, I don't do that at all. But I do frequently use what is effectively the same text.
Sure.
I put the text in the blog post, and then I use what's effectively the same text.
I would change it up slightly. Just, you know, make sure it's not like word for word, just to be on the safe side. I've never heard of anybody having issues, but, you know, just to be on the safe side, make it a little more unique.
Okay, cool. Well, I usually do. Yeah, I guess I do change it up slightly.
Yeah.
So, you know. Okay. So,
yep.
I guess let's just close out with what really turns you on, Mark. What's the most important thing for you in your life? What do you like to do when you're not doing affiliate marketing?
Yeah. Well, I love to spend time with the family. We love going out to, we love going to the beach. You know, we try to go to the beach often. You know, my biggest thing is just spending time with my family. I mean, you know, we do a lot of different things, but that's really the ultimate reason of why I got in this, you know, is family time, and enjoying life. I mean, I don't, you know, I'm actually an avid shooter. I love to go to the range. I have, you know, I'm a full believer in the Second Amendment. Love it. You know, I love to go to the range and shoot. I have a good time there. My dad and I, we go, but you know, we really enjoy that. So that's definitely one of my hobbies for sure.
Cool. Your dad's in Florida?
Yeah. Yeah. He lives about 10 minutes away from me.
Bob Miller asks, what's your take on using other video hosting? Does that question need clarification, or?
I mean, you can, you know, anywhere you want to put your videos is fine. I mean, there's other video hosting you can use as well. I mean, that's one of the things I'm actually hitting on in my new course is how to get your videos out there. You know, there's many other places you can upload your videos. You know, you're not just limited to YouTube. You know, I know we talk about YouTube a lot, but there's other places. You know, you've got Daily Motion, Vimeo, you know, plenty of other ones out there as well. And so, you know, you're not just limited to putting it on there.
Yeah, I've got some videos on Vimeo. I've got some hosted on WordPress. I've got some, I forget the name. It was Easy. What was? Can't even remember the name of it now because I haven't used it in a while. So I've got videos in several different places.
Mm-hmm.
So Larry says he was having trouble on YouTube, so he's using Wistia.
Yeah, I use Wistia as well.
Okay.
But, you know, I just use that for my blog posts. I'm not a fan of putting YouTube videos on my own blog because if the channel gets shut down, you know, last thing I want is to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blog posts that go empty, you know. So I like to just use Wistia and I use that for my blog posts.
But that's a valid point because all of my blogs have almost all of them have videos in that are on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if YouTube ever got shut down, my blog would be.
Yeah, you don't truly own it, so you're better off kind of. That's just my take, but put it in Wistia, put it on your blog post, and then you know, you can upload it to YouTube and other places as well. You know.
Yeah.
So
what do you think about? That leads me to this question then: is what do you think about hosting the videos on MLSP?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You can do that too. You know, you can totally do that.
Blog. Maybe I'll start doing that. I'm actually in the process of moving my blog over to MLSP right now. In fact, I just fundamentally shut down my blog today. I clicked the little button that says discourage the search engines. I've got sites up and running. So
awesome.
okay.
Yeah, sites is great.
Yeah, I'm really, really liking it more and more.
Yeah.
I'm disliking the fact that we can't install plugins. That I've got a membership site and an affiliate plugin running on my blog, so I can't move that stuff over. So I have to keep the main blog active, which means or the main site active, which means I have to change the name. But yeah. So.
They have to. One of the things with sites is, this was a big talk that we had with EMT and all that. They can't allow people to install their own plugins because of security. It's a security risk. Yeah. So, that's one of the things when they put it together, we put an exhaustive list of plugins available to people. If there's something that, people want, it can always be submitted, and then they can look at it and see if it's something they can just add in there. And if you want it, you activate it. But, so there's always some possibilities there to expand at some point, but.
Well, I'm using a WordPress affiliate plugin and also a membership site. And I know most of you guys use, what do you use for affiliate? Pardon me?
Infusionsoft?
Yeah, Infusionsoft. Yeah. I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite up to the level where I can afford Infusionsoft.
Trust me, Infusionsoft is not, I love it. The capability is incredible, but it is the biggest headache. It is the biggest learning curve. And, unless you're making, 30 grand a month and up, I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, that was,
You really need to have somebody that can, help you administer it, have somebody that can potentially do some of the work for you. Robin's been great. He's learned a lot of it. So he assists me on that. Robin.
Okay.
My biz manager. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been told before, 20, 30K a month before you even think about Infusionsoft. And I'm not there yet. So I'm doing my own little plugins on my own website.
Yeah.
And they work. They're really working quite well.
Cool.
But I can't do them to MLSP. So
yeah,
that creates a quandary for me. So. All righty.
Cool.
Hey, well, it's afternoon. I told you half hour. I want to let you go. Do you have any final words you'd like to offer, words of wisdom, Mark, before we shut it down? I don't see any more questions coming in. So
I think the biggest thing is that, everybody's on their journey. For me, I think the biggest thing to remember is you have to have a vision for where you want to go and what you want to do. And ultimately, people have their own path to go down, and it can take a different length of time for everybody. And I know it's kind of cliche to say, but I think the biggest thing that people have to remember is that if you really want this bad enough, you can't quit. You got to stick with it. And I could have quit, I could tell you hundreds of times I was tempted to quit. And because it wasn't happening, I was frustrated. I wasn't getting results. But I was so stubborn that I just couldn't give up on the idea of having, my freedom and the ability to live life on my terms. And because of that, I'm where I'm at today, not because I'm anything special, but because I just wasn't going to stop until I got it figured out. And eventually I did. And the problem with most people is they quit before they figure it out. So the pain, to me, the pain of not having success was far greater than the pain of attaining it. It to me wasn't an option, and I had to just stick with it. And I encourage everybody else to do the same. So you can't quit at this thing. You got to stick with it and keep going. If it takes you 2, 3, 4, 5 years and you finally hit success, will it have not been worth it? Of course. It will have been worth it. Sometimes that's not what we want to hear. We all want success now. We want it to happen now. We want to make money now. But everybody's on a different journey. And, it took me like 11, 12 years before I finally hit the thing when I first got into the network marketing industry. So I could have very easily quit, very easily, after 12 years. But I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. So.
And I understand that, and I think everybody on here does. Bob Miller made the comment that he doesn't see any quitters here. There's been a couple of times I've considered quitting, but I can't remember the last time that was. I've gone so far now that I can't possibly quit. It's just not an option. It's not an option. I'm going to get there.
Christy Kelly, she's awesome.
Yeah, isn't she? Yeah. Hey,
Well, it really gets down to that, and you have to ask yourself, what's the alternative? Time's going to pass no matter what you do. So, you either keep moving toward your goal or you don't, and that's the way I see it. So,
yeah. Hey, well,
cool.
We had a great turnout today.
What's that?
We had a great turnout today. I'm really happy with the turnout. Good. Let me just take less than 30 seconds, Mark, and if you want to drop off, go ahead, but I'm just going to put, you talked about vision just a moment ago. Well, don't drop off, stay there. You talked about vision a moment ago. Let me remind everybody on here that Saturday morning at 8:30 is round 3 of what I'm calling Dream with Len. But what we're working on this Saturday specifically is our vision. What does our life look like? And the last week we worked on our core values and our mission statement in life. And this week we're working on our vision. So be on the webinar Saturday morning, 8:30. It's only a half hour long, and we're working on vision. And that's it for today. Thank you, everybody who came. We had a great turnout today, one of the best. And Mark, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And anytime, guys.
We'll see you.
All right, guys.
See you in Texas.
Great seeing everybody.
Bye for now.
Yeah. Bye-bye.